dropped.
When Sean Paul walks up to the door, he rings the doorbell and immediately steps off. Again, I'm glad he did it because I think he's doing it to avoid confrontation, but it also insulates him from any claim that there was voyeurism.
White says the trespassing and breach of peace charges also don't hold up. The legal exposure, says White, is with Brian Fahey and the Connecticut State Police.
He used his authority, his badge status, and his firearm in confrontation. Keep in mind that when the police officer talking to Sean Paul, they're like, well, you came to a trooper's house, not you came to a citizen's house. They specifically said you came to a trooper, meaning that they considered their response to this call as a response to a fellow law enforcement officer. That, him acting under the color of law, opens the door for a 1983 claim for First Amendment retaliation because of the filming and the billboard and Fahey's conduct under the color of law. So that opens up the Connecticut State Police. But because of the fact that the Groton PD sort of cooked the books here and tried to help Fahey, instead of observing this objectively, they've opened themselves up for some federal lawsuits too.
Sean Paul Reyes says he will be filing federal lawsuits against Fahey, the Connecticut State Police, and the Groton Police Department. Attorney James White, who says he has never met or spoken with Reyes, agrees with other legal experts who say the Reyes lawsuit will be strong, even against the local police.
As far as Groton PD is concerned, I believe they conspired with Fahey to abuse process, malicious prosecution, First Amendment retaliation on their part too, because they really didn't arrest him until he kept pushing and kept criticizing their response. So that is First Amendment retaliation. It's also First Amendment retaliation because they repeatedly mentioned his approach to the door, his exercising his First Amendment rights with the billboard, all that stuff. All that was part of their calculus and the totality of the circumstances for them to make an arrest. So they, I think, are subject to retaliation claim as well under the First Amendment. But then we have an arrest for a felony that clearly lacks probable cause. All of those are Fourth Amendment claims that can be made under a 1983 lawsuit. And I think you got a Monell claim for Fahey because you got two previous incidents where they didn't do anything to him as a result of what he did in public at his job.
That's a reference to previous Connecticut internal affairs investigations of Brian Fahey that went nowhere.
And so you have maybe like the best and worst thing that could have ever happened to Sean Paul Reyes was this incident, because now he's got basically these two police departments on the hook as it relates to 1983 claims. He's like kryptonite to police departments.
Kudos to Sean Paul Reyes and also to attorney James White. Be sure to subscribe to White's YouTube channel, Southern Drawl Law.